of talk these days about self-sabotage. And have you ever wondered the energetic patterning underneath what causes self-sabotage? Well, I want to share that with you today through a little story of a moment when I sabotaged myself. And it's all started back in, I don't remember what year it was, but it was several years ago when I did a half marathon. And it was a beautiful race up in Big Sur and Monterey area, and I was driving down, and I chose to drive back down to San Diego through the scenic route. And I remember I was driving through like the Laguna, Orange County area, and the ocean was on this side, and I was driving, and these shops and restaurants were so cute and so beautiful, and I was so single at the time. And even though I was so grateful and happy as a girl from the Midwest who never believed I could have that kind of life where I'm actually driving down the coast of California, at the same time I felt really sad that I didn't have someone to share that moment with, or to stop and get food at one of these beautiful restaurants overlooking the ocean with anyone. And I felt sad about needing to just keep driving and getting home because I didn't have anyone to celebrate the moment with. Fast forward a few years, and I was in the exact same car, in the exact same route, in the exact same drive with my man. And it was the same beautiful moment, and I had such a deja vu remembering back to the time when I so wished I had someone. And this time I had someone. And we were driving down the coast. Here was the ocean, here are the stores, here are the restaurants, and I was like, baby, let's stop and get something to eat. This is so exciting, oh my gosh. I manifested this opportunity, I manifested this experience, and I shifted, and I can't wait to share it with you. This is exactly what I wanted. He's like, okay. And so we pull up, I did some Yelping and searching, and we pull up to a restaurant. I found the perfect restaurant. And we pull up to the perfect restaurant, okay? So let me paint the picture for you. It's the perfect moment, the perfect sunset, the perfect restaurant, my memories and fantasies all coming true. And he goes to park my car, parallel park my baby, my car. And as he was pulling into the spot, he rams the front bumper. He rams the front bumper up against the curb. And it was one of those jarring moments. And I got so angry. Have you ever felt the anger, rage, flames of heat just come up inside you and you just want to explode on someone? I don't get angry that often, but in that moment, I was angry. How dare he ruin the most magical moment of my life up until that date? And I got out of the car, helped him park the car, and continued to seethe with anger. And then I stopped, and I breathed. And being the Dharma Queen that I am, working from the Manifestor's Creed, which is, I create my reality, I'm the one who creates my experience, I asked myself, why did I create this? Why did I create this? And in that moment, I realized there was a specific split second as we were driving down the coast that I actually felt, who am I to have this amazing magical experience? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Who am I to make six figures? Who am I to be a millionaire? Who am I to have it all? And I didn't even really consciously think about it until I stopped and I got responsible and I tapped into the Manifestor's Creed, being the Dharma Queen that I'm committed to being, and realized I self-sabotaged. I self-sabotaged that moment. And I communicated that to my man. I took full responsibility for manifesting the whole thing. And we talked about it, and it shifted the entire experience, and we went on to have a beautiful dinner by the water. But it got me thinking. It got me thinking about upper limits. It got me thinking about this idea of self-sabotage. The truth is we do it everywhere in our lives because it's more comfortable to stay at our current vibration, our current energy set point, like you've heard me talk about, than it is to keep growing and expanding. Because reaching love, reaching peace, reaching enlightenment is like foreign territory. Like that's a language we've never spoken before. That's an experience you've never had before. And it feels very unfamiliar. And that's one of the reasons why people energetically have those thoughts, have those feelings that actually bring down a happy moment or a happy possibility back into what they're comfortable with, what they're familiar with, the frustration, the anger, the scarcity, the sadness. And so what I recommend you doing in those moments, if you've ever had an experience like that, is to do what I did. You stop and you get connected to the Manifestor's Creed, which is, how am I creating this? Not in a blamey way, not in a judgy way, not in a self-beat-up way, in a responsible way, in a loving way. And then you get to choose, okay, so what do I really want? How do I really want to feel? And the truth is, you're totally worthy of that. The truth is, when you stop and you breathe and you just look up versus looking in, you begin to see the possibilities. And you just stop and realize, okay, I can receive, I can receive, I can receive. And then all that's left to do is receive. So I want you to see yourself in my story. And what I'm excited to share with you is how to shift from that old habitual energetic response and old habitual energetic patterning into breaking through that upper limit so that you can manifest and create your next level. And one of the best ways to do that is actually just to stop and breathe and shift into responsibility. Because ultimately you're the one who's manifesting your life. So when you shift into responsibility, you're like, okay, so what do I want to create instead? And honestly, it's that simple. That's all that I did. And it's those subtle shifts and those subtle tweaks that create big results. And that's so what I want for you.